Welcome back. The most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive in. What is going on, Lady Demetrius's bath? Oh no. Oh man, you couldn't pay me to get in there. The red water? No thank you. Would you go for a swim in here? Whoa. Red lights? That was crazy. Damn, the lights turn red. That would be kind of cool for like a spooky ball or something.
If you knew this in school, you would be the smartest person in your school. That is because this is how everything we study works. It is the concept of oscillation or vibration. Let me show you how it works. Let's break this wave up into a band like our eyes and our ears do. If we take the bottom right corner of the spectrum and connect it with the top left, we can see how these blend into each other. That is how we mix notes in music and colors in art. You are now an artist. That is fun, but what about the not fun stuff, like math? To figure out where any of those balls are, we just need the X and the Y measurement. That is trigonometry. If I keep doubling how fast that wave is going, it starts to add these nodes, circles within circles. Enough of these nodes creates the illusion of 3D and the study of spheres. Since we know trigonometry, the trig of all of these circles that make the sphere is calculus and the basis for physics. The interaction of these spheres gives us the torus. The torus shows us how electrons orbit a nucleus, creating these patterns that interact with other patterns, creating matter. You have now unlocked particle physics. Before we get too advanced, we need to go back to the sphere, because the interaction of these spheres is a study in itself. Studying the interaction of spheres gives us geometry. Geometry. From here, we can see how nature uses this, and then use it in our own designs, like in architecture or engineering. With a better understanding of how nature builds things, we can use that information to build our own things. Now, if we go back and look at the shape of atoms, then they start to make sense. Vibrations above atoms make molecules, vibrations above molecules make all the stuff. Vibrations above the stuff create stuff within stuff. It's called an emulsion. Like this, that creates a moving system with boundaries, allowing more interactions with more stuff. Above that, we get systems that organize and replicate, creating primitive forms of life. Find out what you and your kids are interested in and use that. If you knew this in school, you would be the smartest person.
I feel smart. I feel like a particle physicist now, and I didn't understand any of that. Why were doors so large back then? This door is 2,000 years old.
It's hot, I can tell you that.
It's because humans coexisted with giants back then. That's why that door is so big. For entertainment purposes only. Don't believe anything you hear or see on this video.
Universe. If you are not familiar with the Mandela effect, Empire Strikes Back, you need to Google it or you're not going to understand what's on this tape. But y'all, I'm about to put this tape in and hit play, and you're going to see absolute incontrovertible evidence that parallel universes and the Mandela effect is real. Here goes, y'all.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me to kill him.
Luke, I am your father.
He told me to kill him.
Luke, I am your father. Luke, I am your father.
Universe. If you are not familiar with the
I remember Luke, I am your father. Are they trying to say it was something else? If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we do these videos every single day. And I'd love to see you tomorrow. Now let's get straight back into the action. I had to record this from another phone just to show you. What on earth? What type of Aladdin magic lamp is this? It's conducting. It's making the light bulbs turn on. What type of magic lamp is this? How strange. Tartarian technology. That is strange.
This world is not what you have been told. Have you ever wondered why all these unexplainable ancient structures are built on the Earth's energy grid? The explanation stems from the emerald tablets of Thoth, who was also known as Idris, Enoch, Hermes, Metatron, or Quetzalcoatl. In these tablets, Thoth mentions a technology called Stargates many times. He explains that they enabled him to travel instantaneously between various locations on Earth and even to other worlds. And this is how these Stargates worked. The Stargates use Earth's energy grid, a network of natural energy lines that crisscross the planet. By aligning the Stargates with these energy lines, Thoth could tap into a limitless source of power, enabling instantaneous travel. These energy lines are now called ley lines to hide their true power. But it gets even crazier. Look at all these ancient sites, they all lie on Stargate locations. This is because Thoth built every single one. He traveled the globe spreading spiritual wisdom, advanced technology, and profound astronomical knowledge. This is also how every site aligns with constellations or celestial objects. Thoth was known by many names in different cultures because he used these stargates to travel and build sites. Do you think Thoth built more sites on other... This world is not what you have been told.
For entertainment purposes only. Can't believe this cave is in Scotland. Fingal's Cave, uninhabited island. Wow. Those markings are just extraordinary, those hexagonal features.
Now we're going to go around like this. We're going to see what we found tonight. A little bit of everything for everyone, all sorts of different patterns. Check out the awesome stripey going through that one. Nice, so what do we say when we find a Uperlite, you guys? Bingo!
And again.
I want to do that. I need a group of friends I can do that with. How much fun would that be? If you thought I didn't have an excellent specimen for you today, think again. Feast your eyes on this beautiful pre-night. You guys already know what I'm gonna name this. Candy grapes. Just juicing with flavor.
We were trying to determine who owned a cliff tomb, which Howard Carter found in 1916, and we were looking below it, and as we excavated below it, we found the tomb. You know, these are the moments of a lifetime. You know, as Howard Carter described it, these are the days of days.
Oh my goodness, look at this. I don't even know where to begin. The dazzling silver crystals on top of this luscious flame-like orange crystals. Man, what are these? Orange barite flowers and metallic galena. Guys, if I had to name this, it would be Firefox. Almost like a three-tailed firefox. It almost looks like a purple sea creature opening his mouth. How crazy is this? This is an extraordinary piece. I would call this Great Purple Shark. If you guys know the name of this stone, drop it in the comments below.
This is on my children. This happened. Now, I I don't know what it was. You know, I can't say it was aliens from whatever. I don't know. But this is what happened. It happened on Halloween night, 1975. Okay, I was a freshman in college, and I went to Providence College. But that night, my buddy and I drove down to the University of Rhode Island to visit friends, and we partied, went to parties, hung out, drank beer, did it all. Ended up at a pizza parlor, ate, and then we had to drive home. And we were driving home late. Excuse me. Probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were cruising back, and it was about an hour drive for us. And it was on, we had gotten on, off Route 95 onto Route 295, which is more rural, and there were no cars on the road. And I do remember, and we weren't talking, we were just listening to the radio, listening to tunes, cruising along. It's the end of the night. We're done. And we're cruising down this long straightaway, where you could see like kind of for about 10 miles. You could see like down for about 5 and up about 5. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those long,
Sure.
yeah. And, coming down the road, the highway toward us, over the highway is a light. It appears to be like a plane or a helicopter or something coming down toward us. And I see it, but I'm not thinking anything of it. But cruising along, listening to radio. As it gets bigger, the lights get bigger and bigger. I'm thinking, wow, that's a big helicopter. Clearly like low, so it's got to be some kind of helicopter type thing. Again, we're not saying it's getting closer and closer. The lights are getting bigger and bigger, and it's not going fast. It's going, taking its time coming down the highway. And I remember, like, among other things, whenever I'm thinking, listen to radio, wow, that's a really big helicopter. Then it gets bigger. I'm thinking, well, that must be like a military helicopter. This is in my head. And it's approaching and approaching. It's big and big. And we haven't said a peep, just see that it's kind of like not even paying attention. And all of a sudden, as it's coming upon us, suddenly it's a massive thing. And it is a rectangular shaped craft, I will say. Okay. It's rectangular. Like, it's hard to say how big it is because you can't tell how high it is, but it seems to be a few hundred yards up. Maybe it's 1,000 feet up. I don't know. It's not that high, but it's rectangular shape, and there's zillions of lights under it. And the lights are going back, like sideways, like shoot, back and forth. And then the other one, no sound, by the way. And the other ones are going this way. Like, so they're kind of crossing each other, all these lights. And then there are a few lights that are doing like a wind, like a fan. They're like going around the circle lights, and they're all over the place going. And it is like fucking lighting the goddamn highway up over, as we're going through it, and it's taking its time. I'm telling you, it's right out of Star Wars. When you see the thing come over you and it just keeps going, and we're like, and I'm looking up at like, what? And I look over at my friend, and my friend looks at me and goes, "The fucking flying's awesome." And I think, ugh. And I remember my legs.
Is that a quote, by the way?
My legs went weak. It was like completely rubbery. Like, I remember pushing my foot on the gas. It was an effort. Like, I literally lost all the blood in my legs somehow. And my wife has said, "Do you think you guys were, no, I don't think we were. But I'm telling you, my legs went completely numb out of fear, I'm assuming, but I've never had that sensation before where I was pushing down the gas like, oh my God, let's go. And I took off and we cruised down the highway. And as I'm cruising off, my heart's, I'm looking in the rearview mirror and I can see it just heading away down the highway, down Route 295. Okay. And I remember the guy had passed us about 10 minutes earlier in a car. So we said, let's find that guy, see if he saw it, because there's not a car on the road. So I drove about 110 miles an hour until we got to our exit, which was another 7 or 8 miles. Excuse me. And, never caught up with the guy. And I dropped my buddy off, and then I went home. And I remember on the way home, I was just like terrified. I was looking around. Is this thing going to come back for me? Came home, woke my parents up, woke my sister up. I just saw a flying saucer. The whole thing. They're like, go to bed. I said, no. Anyway.
How old were you again?
18. This is on my children. This happened.
Do you guys believe them? Drop it in the comments below. What flew across?
Is Venus just smaller and closer and in front of the moon right here? Or is the moon transparent and we're seeing through it to Venus? This photograph was taken last week. It is Venus through the moon. Through the moon. It reminds us of certain patterns on flags we've seen before. I figured everyone would be covering this, so I didn't bother. but I haven't seen anyone covering it yet. But either Venus is little bitty and in front of the moon, or the moon is just transparent and we're seeing Venus through the moon, which we should never be able to see Venus anyway. It's orbiting closer to the sun, supposedly, and anytime it's night, we're on the side facing away from the sun, right? In this model. So Venus is orbiting closer. It'll always be behind the ball of Earth. So that's at least 2 impossibilities in one photo. How many more impossibilities can you think about when it comes to the heliocentric model of Earth? Is it what we've been told? I want to know what you think. Is Venus just smaller and closer?
In the heart of Los Angeles, a discovery made nearly 100 years ago stunned the world. Hidden beneath the busy streets of Angeles Mesa Drive lay a secret that could rewrite history. Giant skeletons, buried for centuries, waiting to be found. It was April 6th, 1924. When construction workers digging deep beneath Angeles Mesa Drive stumbled upon something astonishing. This discovery was reported in the Los Angeles Times under the headline, "Fossil Bones, here held most ancient by noted geologists at a depth of 20 to 24 feet. They uncovered human skeletons of enormous size accompanied by mysterious artifacts." These weren't ordinary remains. The bones suggested a height of at least 9 feet. In the heart of Los Angeles, a discovery...
Yeah, the Smithsonian took those away. We'll never see them.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the heck?
That's what happened to me, except my power stayed off. Red Vandanite crystals on black geotite matrix. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Very stunning. I never watched Tinkerbell or Cinderella, so I wouldn't be able to tell you the correlation or the conspiracy behind it, but now you know.
Watch this. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Oh, praise the Lord. Watch this.
You know babies are pure because they're fresh from the other side.
This what they be talking about when they be like New Orleans is below sea level. Y'all see how I'm pointing my camera straight out there and it look like the water? This what they be talking about when they be like New Orleans is below sea level. Y'all see how I'm pointing my camera straight out there and it look like the water is eye to eye with me? That is because I am below the water. I am below one strong gust of a wave. If the water feel like rising, all this whole strip is flooded. Okay, this is what they mean by below sea level. We are eye to eye with the water, literally. That water right there. That water right there. Okay. This what they be talking about when...
What is zooming through the sky in Norway? There it is. I couldn't tell you what it is, but I'm not seeing any lights. Look at that smile. He's just having fun, isn't he? The code word is Tuesday Vibe. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop Tuesday Vibe in the comments so I can personally thank you for making it this far. It means a lot to me. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you tomorrow.